In this video, what I'm going to do for y'all today is a walkthrough here on the Crescent Kayaks LiteTackle II. I've actually been in this boat before. I've paddled it around. I haven't done an official review on it, but I kind of wanted to do my little walkthrough and give my opinion on the design of this boat and how it is. And actually, I have a LiteTackle I that I will be doing a comparison video, so you guys can check that out if you want to. And I will have chapters down below, so you can kind of skip through the chapters. So let me go over the specs with y'all real quick. The specs on this thing, I'll put the specs up on the screen now. It comes in at 12'4" on length, 34 inches wide on its widest point here, 75 pounds, and a weight capacity of 450 pounds as far as overall specs on that. Let's go ahead and let's start back here at the stern and just kind of work our way up. You can see right here, molded in, rubberized drain plug. I'm a big fan of that, really good on that. This has more set up for a power pole or a torpedo or something like that if you need to put a motor back here. And you can access it right here by the hatch. Handles, it still has the two type of handles where you use both hands to pick it up. Pad eyes for adding additional bungee right here. Frog eyes for mounting a motor or a rudder or some sort of steering, just so you know. Big, large tank well. I'll actually, since this is on the hooks, can unhook this real fast. So there you go. You get to see how big the tank well is there. And check this out. It has dual purpose bungee and it has their cam strap right here. This cam strap can go around a cooler if you ever wanted to put a cooler back here and cam strap it down. Comes with padding, so it does have silencing pads back here in the back deck. Gear tracks, which I think these are 16-inch Yak Attack gear tracks in the back. So you got one mighty mount here, one mighty mount here. I'll come back to the seat here in a minute. Area right here where you could throw things. It's at a slope, so it does drain. So it drains out, but you can throw tackle, whatever down in there, one on each side. It can hold a plano box if you put a plano box in there. Under seat storage, look at all of that storage up under that seat. They added 2 paddle parks on here, so you don't have one, but you have 2 paddle parks. And water bottle holders, check that out. Water bottle holder, holds an algae bottle, a thermos, anything you want right there. Scuppers here, scuppers here. It does have kiss off, so the deck's very solid. Looking at when I'm standing in it, very solid on the deck. Yak Attack tracks and their stash pockets on each side, so you get 2 stash pockets. Seat adjustment, so the seat is their Crescent seat, very good. I've always liked Crescent seat. It's got a padding to it, very good material. I've never heard any problems out of their seats, any issues. So to adjust the seat, what you want to do is loosen your cam up right there. When you drop it down, it drops way down, so you got a very low profile that I'll use if I'm paddling rivers or I just want to be closer to the water to paddle, and it gives me a more efficient stroke while I'm paddling. I really like this system. Adjustable foot rail, and if you want to run a transducer or something, you can mount you a fish finder here and then run your transducer down. And what they did, they added a transducer box on the hull, so that way you can mount your transducer and it's protected. One other thing they added, check these out. There's rod butts storage right here, so if I'm sitting in the boat, the butt of my rod rests nicely right there, and it works. That works extremely well for holding that down. So as far as rod storage, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can put it up under the seat like that, and it's captured right in those things, and then it runs right here, and it's under this rod saver. And this actually serves a dual function up here. This thing also, so check that out, quick paddle park right in there. And this is a Velcro strap, so it does come off like that. So the hatch is on these little like webbing type pieces right here, and to open the hatch, it's these little bungees right here. You just take those off. Very spacious as far as like how much gear you can have. I actually have more gear stuffed all up in there. Very nice on how well this hatch works. It's not removable like the LiteTackle I was, but you know what, I really like it. Attention to detail, the Crescent logo molded in right there. Logo on the hatch with these bolts. These are Allen head bolts. I like the looks of those bolts that go down in there. So far I've been paddling this all day, and it's been bone dry on the inside, so I've had no issues out of this hatch leaking. Very good on Crescent on that. And it functioned, you know, it doesn't seem like these little bungees would hold it that well, but I've been really impressed with how well these bungees hold that hatch in place. But yeah, there's the overall kind of walkthrough of the deck. Take my black pack off and roll it over the best I can and go over the hull with you guys. If you've paddled the LiteTackle 1, you know exactly how this thing performs. You can kind of look at this hull. It has a big bulbous area here for punching over waves and slight current. So it doesn't have a strong keel line. It's flattened out right here. It goes down in these rails. Here's something new. This has a transducer box on it. So if you would run your transducer, you would mount it somewhere right in there. Keel line in the back keeps it tracking super straight as far as tracking. And the edges here gives it that stability where it's on its edge. So yeah, that's all I got on the hull. Let's roll this thing back over. So yeah, there you go, everybody. That's the LiteTackle II walkthrough. I will do a quick little on-water review of it. I'm not gonna break these into 2 videos. So yeah, let's get on the water now. Woo! You put a little bit of a lean. This thing actually is pretty nimble for its size. Like I can lean that and get on that volume on that edge. And I like the way this thing turns. Like it doesn't have that initial kind of stability, like right there. But it's like this weird thing, like you're thinking that it's not stable, but it really is because it's got that initial like fall over, but then it catches right there. So I don't feel like it's gonna go. And I feel like I can paddle this pretty easy around like this. Just like the original LiteTackle, I could definitely paddle it like this. So yeah, that feels pretty good. And then you could easily slide it in there like that, grab a rod, and start casting pretty easy. Normally, I like to be in the low position while I'm paddling because when you're so high up, you just don't have a very efficient like paddle stroke. But I feel that this works pretty good in this high position. I did experiment with the low position some, but I went right back to the high position. And look at the tracking. So once again, just like all the other Crescent boats, Crescent pretty much nails their tracking. They've got that perfect combination of rocker meets like keel line. So let's get this thing up to speed. So once I get to its max speed, oh boy. Okay, trees, and I have rods hanging up in the back. That's a draw stroke if you guys are wondering. Once again, just like the Shuttle and the ultralight, this thing is just super tracking. It's their hull design, the way they have those ridges in it. Okay, next we'll talk about speed. So as far as speed, let me try to get it up to speed here. So taking long power strokes, I feel that it's at its max speed right now. What gives us its speed is that keel. You know, number one, it's only 34 inches wide, so it's got a smaller keel in the middle, and then it's got a step, so you're riding more on this middle keel than the entire hull. It doesn't have a lot of drag to it. So as far as speed, you know, I would rank it right up there with pretty much all the other 12'4" kayaks. You're not going to be winning any speed races, but let's be honest, the only time you really want speed is when you're trying to get back to your car or you're trying to get across the lake real fast. As far as comfort, you know, I've been sitting in this seat all day long in this seat, and it has been, I've been comfortable all day. I don't have a kayak cushion. I don't have any type of padding under it. The seats are padded. The backs are not super high on it, but the seat backs have this cutout, so it's like a cutout right here, so I never hit my elbows, and it feels pretty comfortable as far as like overall just sitting in the seat. And it's got an adjustable side strap right here, so if I want to lean back a little bit, I can lean back and kind of like get a little more recliner feel. Me personally, I like to be more in an upright kind of paddling posture and really paddling with a forward aggressive stroke with my knees at kind of like a 45 like this. The only thing I would like to see is have these foot pegs with a slight angle on them. These foot pegs are very vertical, so I would like to see them more angled so my foot sits a little longer. But what I do, I just shove them down and let my feet rest on them. They're just kind of resting on them. All right, everybody, so final thought. This thing has been exactly what I thought it would be. It's almost one of these things that Crescent's idea behind the LiteTackle II, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. And that's exactly what they did. They didn't change the hull. They didn't add more rocker. They didn't add more stability. They just left it exactly the same because it's an amazing platform, and they just changed the entire deck layout. And the deck layout, one of the biggest features, one of the best features that I like that they did to it is adding the high-low seating option. I really like a high-low seating option, and it's just a more manageable rod storage. These little stash trays right here on the right and left, they function really well. I'm going to say this is steel once again. Crescent nailed it with their LiteTackle II series. It just seems to do everything really good. And I've been really impressed with it, from the rod storage to the seating option to the overall layout. It just feels more of a premium kind of modern layout as far as everything. I would recommend this boat. If you had a LiteTackle and you already like your LiteTackle, would I recommend buying a LiteTackle II? That's debatable with the layout that this thing has. If you feel that you need a more of efficient layout as far as like your fishing systems and just your comfort on your high-low seating, definitely it's worth the upgrade if that's what you're after. But you know, this comes in additional colors. The LiteTackle is discontinued, so you can't even get the LiteTackle one. And if you're out and you're wanting to buy a LiteTackle, go with this one. Overall, this thing, once again, Crescent, you know, whatever it is, I've been really impressed with Crescent. You know, they seem to always nail it with designs. They do a lot of market research. I've worked with these guys a lot. You know, if I see something wrong, I definitely call it out. But one thing about Crescent, they listen to their consumer market, and they listen to they get a lot of paddler input from, you know, whitewater paddlers to tournament anglers. And they'll really listen to the consumers, and they'll make those upgrades as needed. And I feel that's what they did with this LiteTackle II. All right, everybody, that's all I got today on the on-water review of the LiteTackle II. You guys leave in the comments below if you paddled the LiteTackle II, what you think about it. If it's a kayak that you like or you would recommend, I like hearing what you guys have to say. If you didn't like it, I really like to hear what you have to say. So yeah, let's get out of here. Let's do some fishing. I haven't even caught no fish. I've been sitting here filming videos all day, so let's get out of here. Woo!